Hey guys, welcome to another con support video. This one is on combining like terms with rational coefficients. So let's go. All right, so let's zoom in here, see if I can get this a little bigger. So I know it's really hard for us all to see things. Okay, so there's our problems. Let's see if we can write them out. So this one's going to be number one. Let's do it with black so it's a little easier for us to see. Okay, let's zoom in. You can see a little better. Okay. Write it a little nicer. All right, there we go. Number one, 3.26 plus 9, sorry, my bad, 3.26d plus 9.75d minus 2.65. Okay, so the only difference here between regular combined like terms and this is that you've got some decimals, right? So the idea and principle stays the same. You're going to put your variables to the same degree together. So d's with d's, right? So you're going to combine 3.26d plus 9.75d. They're like terms because they have the same variable at the same degree. This is a constant of negative 2.65. Can't be combined because it doesn't have a d. All right, so you're going to put your d's together and then just leave that as negative 2.65. So let's combine our d's. We have 3.26 plus 9.75. They're both positive. We're going to add them together. So just line up your decimal and do your math. So ultimately, for this problem, you would just get 3.26 plus 9.75. And you are going to add those together, and it's going to be the net number of d's. So what's 6 plus 5? 6 plus 5 is 11. What's 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 7 is 10. Carry your 1, bring your decimal down. 3 plus 1 plus 9 is like 10 plus 3, which is 13. So ultimately you get 13.01, which means that your answer is going to be 13.01 b, right? And then you're going to be taking away the 2.65. So that's your answer, 13.01 d, and then take away 2.65. And that's your answer, okay? Okay, let's do one more example here, number two. So for number two, you're going to do same exact process. This is 7.4z minus 5 times the quantity of negative 1.6z plus 2.4. This one requires you to distribute. So remember how that kind of works. You're going to have to be thoughtful about how you do this. You're going to multiply through by the negative 5. You always distribute before combining like terms so you can know exactly how much of each term to combine. So you're going to do negative 5 times negative 1.6z, and then negative 5 times positive 2.4. So ultimately, that's the process we're going to go through, and then we're going to combine like terms from there. So we get the 7.4z, that kind of just comes along for the ride. So let's just kind of bring that along to the ride. 7.4z, let's do this a little thicker. 7.4z. And then you're going to multiply through negative 5 times negative 1.6. Well, this is a positive because a negative times a negative is a positive. And 5 times 1.6 is going to be 5 times 1, which is 5. And 5 times 0.6, which is going to be 30 with the decimal moved 1 to the left, so that's 3. So you're looking at really 5 plus 3, which is 8. So that's going to be 8, and then it's going to be z. So you've got 8z there. And then you're going to do negative 5 times a positive 2.4. So that's a negative times a positive is a negative. And 5 times 2.4 is 5 times 2, which is 10. And 5 times 0.4, which is going to be 2. So this is 10 plus 2, or 12. So ultimately what you really have here is 7.4z plus 8z minus 12. So we're going to combine our like terms, our z's with our z's. So we got 7.4z, and we're adding to that 8z. How many z's do we have? Well, that's going to be 7 plus 8, which is 15. So it'll be 15.4 z's. And then you're just going to bring that negative 12 down, and it comes along for the ride. So the correct answer here should be 15.4 z, all right? And then you're going to take away 12. And that's how you do it. Let's do the next one. This one has not decimals, but fractions. Okay, so nothing changes. Now that you've got fractions, you just take it one step at a time, and you'll be just fine. So let's do number 3. It says 2 times the quantity of 1/5 m minus 2/5, close parentheses, plus 3/5. Okay, well, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to distribute that negative through the parentheses. So you're going to say 2 times 1/5 and 2 times negative 2/5. And let's find out what that value would be. So let's change that to yellow. 2 times 1/5 is just going to be 2/5 m. And then 2 times a negative 2/5 is going to be a negative 4/5, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 5 is just 5. So you end up with 2/5 m minus 4/5, and then you're going to add to that 3/5. Now ask yourself, what like terms do you have to combine? Well, there's only one m term, the 2/5 m. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have 2/5 m. But the constants can be combined in this case. So you're going to combine these two constants. So that's what can be put together. You've got negative 4/5 and you've got positive 3/5. Well, this is going in different directions. Who's going to win? The negative by how much? It'll be 1/5. So the ultimate answer here, when you're done, is going to be 2/5 m. And then you're going to just take away from that 1/5. Because negative 4/5 plus 3/5 is negative 1/5. And ultimately, that's what you're going to get. So you're going to put x over y. You're going to put on top 2 and on bottom 5. And then you're going to click over to the right. So it's the coefficient is 2/5. And then you're going to put m. And then you're going to put minus and then x over y again. On top, you've got 1. And on bottom, you've got 5. So the correct answer is 2/5 m minus 1/5. And that's how you put it in. And then the last but not least, it looks like they're doing decimals for us again. So let's go through and do our decimal work here. So we grab our little trusty tablet and we write, this is 4 times the quantity of 1.75y minus 3.5 plus 1.25y. So I know I'm going to distribute and then combine like terms. I'm always going to have two y terms at the end to combine. And I have a constant that's going to be whatever that constant value is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply through by the outside factor and call it distribute. So we're going to distribute the 4 through the parentheses. 4 times 1.75y, 4 times a negative 3.5. To find out what all of those values inside are really worth. Okay, because we got 4 groups of all this. Well, 75 cents times 4 is $1.50 double, which is 3. So that's going to be 3 plus 4 because 4 times 1 is 4. So we have 4 plus 3, which is 7. So this is really going to be 7. So this is 7y. 4 times negative 3.5 is going to be a negative because a positive times a negative is a negative. And 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times a half is 2. So 12 plus 2 is 14. So this is really going to be 7y minus 14. And then you're going to add 1.25y. Now, like we talked about when I first started the problem, we're going to now combine our y's. So if we take a look at our y terms, we can see we've got 7 of those y's, and we're adding to that 1.25 y's. Well, how many y's do we actually have then? What's our total y value? Our total y value is going to be 7 plus 1.25, or 8.25 y's. The minus 14 just comes along for the ride. That doesn't change. So really our answer is just 8.25y minus 14. So we're at 8.25y and then minus 14. And that's your answer. And that's how you do those problems. Hopefully that helped you guys feel more comfortable.